Hello, and welcome to the ultimate deep dive into American style. Over the next 3 hours, we're going on a journey together, exploring the vibrant, ever-changing landscape of fashion in the United States. We'll be counting down the top 10 trending fashion brands that are defining this very moment in style. My name is Your Name, and I'll be your guide through this exciting world. But before we jump into our countdown, let's ask a fundamental question. What does it truly mean for a fashion brand to be trending in America today? The definition has shifted dramatically over the past decade. It's no longer just about which brand sells the most t-shirts or has the biggest billboard in Times Square. It's a much more complex and fascinating equation. Today, a trending brand is a cultural phenomenon. It's the brand you see blowing up on your TikTok For You page, the one being unboxed by your favorite YouTube creator, and the name that's constantly being tagged on Instagram by celebrities and everyday fashion lovers alike. It's about cultural currency. It's about capturing the zeitgeist, that elusive spirit of the times. A brand can be 100 years old or 100 days old, but if it connects with a current cultural conversation, it will trend. The modern American fashion landscape is a thrilling mix of different worlds colliding. On one side, you have the heritage giants, iconic American labels that have dressed generations. Some of them are staging remarkable comebacks by reinventing themselves for a new era. On the other side, you have the digital natives, brands born on the internet, built for a direct-to-consumer world, who speak the language of social media fluently. And in between, there's everything else. There's the unstoppable force of streetwear, which has completely blurred the lines between high fashion and casual comfort. There's the growing, powerful movement towards sustainability, where consumers are demanding more transparency and ethical practices from the brands they support. Conscious consumerism is no longer a niche market, it's a mainstream expectation. People want to know where their clothes came from and the impact they have on the planet. This series will explore brands from all these categories. We will analyze what makes them tick and why they have captured the American imagination. We'll look at the marketing genius, the innovative designs, and the community-building strategies that propel a brand from obscurity to ubiquity. So, what are the key ingredients for a trending brand in the US right now? First, authenticity is non-negotiable. Today's consumers, especially Gen Z and millennials, have a built-in radar for anything that feels fake or forced. They are drawn to brands that have a real story, a clear point of view, and stand for something beyond just making a profit. Purpose-driven branding is essential. Second, community. The most successful brands aren't just selling products, they are cultivating a following. They create a sense of belonging, an exclusive club that people are excited to be a part of. This is achieved through engaging social media content, collaborative projects, and creating experiences that go beyond the clothing itself. It's about building a universe around the brand that customers want to inhabit. Third is cultural relevance. This means being in tune with the music, the art, the social movements, and the online conversations that are shaping society. It's about collaborations that feel surprising and yet make perfect sense. Think of a luxury fashion house partnering with a skateboarding brand, or a sportswear giant teaming up with a pop superstar. These moments create energy and buzz that are impossible to manufacture artificially. They have to be earned through a genuine connection to the culture. And finally, adaptability. The trend cycle is moving faster than ever before. An aesthetic that's viral on TikTok today might be old news in 3 months. The brands that are winning are the ones that can stay agile, listen to their audience, and evolve without losing their core identity. They are not just following trends, they are starting them. In this 15-chapter series, we will dedicate a full chapter to each of our top 10 brands, counting down from number 10 to the coveted number 1 spot. We'll explore their history, their most iconic pieces, their recent triumphs, and what we predict is next for them. We will go beyond the rankings to understand the why behind their success. We'll also dedicate our final chapters to broader movements shaping the industry, exploring topics like the future of sustainable fashion, the impact of technology like AI on design, and the rise of up-and-coming designers you need to have on your radar. Our goal is to give you a comprehensive snapshot of American fashion as it stands today, a vibrant, diverse, and powerful force in global culture. Whether you're a dedicated fashion enthusiast, a student of design and marketing, or just curious about the clothes that shape our world, there will be something here for you. So, get comfortable as we prepare to unravel the stories behind the labels. We're about to begin our official countdown. In our next chapter, we will kick things off with the brand that has secured the number 10 spot on our list. It's a brand that has masterfully blended outdoor ruggedness with city-ready style, becoming a surprising staple in the wardrobes of fashion insiders and adventurers alike. Its journey is a perfect example of how a brand can find a new audience while staying true to its roots. Join me in Chapter 2, as we reveal the brand at number 10 and begin our exploration of the top 10 trending fashion brands in America. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back. In our first chapter, we set the stage, defining what it takes for a brand to capture the American imagination and truly trend in today's fast-paced world. We talked about authenticity, community, and cultural relevance. Now, it's time to put that theory into practice as we begin our official countdown. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a brand that perfectly embodies the idea of earned authenticity. It's a name that spent over a century focused on pure, rugged utility before it was organically adopted by the streets and, eventually, by the world of high fashion. At number 10, we have Carhartt. That's right, Carhartt. For many, the name conjures images of construction sites, windswept farms, and the hard-working individuals who build America. It's the iconic duck brown canvas, the triple-stitched seams, and the simple, honest logo. Founded in 1889 by Hamilton Carhartt in Detroit, Michigan, the company's mission was straightforward: to create durable, high-quality workwear for manual laborers. For decades, that's exactly what it was. It wasn't a fashion brand, it was essential equipment. And that is the secret to its power. The journey of Carhartt from the worksite to the runway is one of the most fascinating stories in modern fashion. It wasn't orchestrated in a corporate boardroom. It happened on the ground, in the subcultures that shape what's cool long before the mainstream catches on. In the late 1980s and 90s, something interesting began to happen. The same jackets and pants designed to withstand harsh working conditions were discovered by graffiti artists, skateboarders, and hip-hop musicians. Think about it. These communities needed clothing that was tough, that could handle the wear and tear of the urban environment. Carhartt offered exactly that, but it also offered a kind of anti-fashion statement. It was affordable, accessible, and completely unpretentious. Wearing Carhartt was a nod to a blue-collar work ethic, a symbol of gritty authenticity in a world of flashy logos. Legendary hip-hop acts from New York like Wu-Tang Clan and Nas were photographed wearing the brand, cementing its status as an icon of street-level cool. It had credibility that money simply couldn't buy. The real turning point, however, came from across the Atlantic. In 1994, a German company run by Edwin Fay struck a licensing deal to create a new division called Carhartt Work in Progress, or WIP. This was a stroke of genius. The founders of WIP were fans of the original brand's organic adoption by subcultures. They understood its cultural currency. Their vision was to take the core DNA of Carhartt, the robust materials and classic silhouettes, and reinterpret them for a European and Asian market that was more fashion-forward. WIP designs were slimmer, more tailored, and introduced a wider palette of colors beyond the traditional brown, black, and navy. They kept the quality and the heritage but refined the fit for a new audience. The iconic Detroit jacket, for example, was recut to be less boxy, making it perfect for layering in a city environment. Carhartt WIP became the crucial bridge connecting the brand's rugged American roots to the global fashion conversation. It began collaborating with other influential streetwear and fashion brands, like APC, Vans, and most notably, Supreme, further solidifying its place in the wardrobes of the style-obsessed. So why is Carhartt trending so heavily in America right now? It's a perfect storm of factors. First, we live in an era that craves authenticity, and you simply cannot get more authentic than a 130-year-old workwear company. In a sea of fast fashion, a Carhartt jacket is an investment in durability and timeless style. It's a piece of clothing with a history and a story. Second, the broader fashion world has finally caught up to what the streets knew all along. The rise of utilitarian fashion, often called gorpcore, has made functional, practical clothing incredibly stylish. Pockets, durable fabrics, and comfortable fits are no longer just for the outdoors, they're for everyday life. Carhartt is the grandfather of this entire movement. Third, there's the celebrity factor. When stars like Rihanna, Bella Hadid, or Chris Pratt are photographed wearing the classic Carhartt beanie or a simple chore coat, often the original, affordable mainline version, it sends a powerful message. It makes the brand feel both aspirational and incredibly accessible. This brings us to a key point: the brand's dual existence. You can buy a $50 Carhartt t-shirt at a local hardware store, or you can buy a $300 limited edition WIP collaboration jacket at a high-end boutique. Both feel equally cool and valid, which is an incredibly difficult balance for a brand to strike. The most iconic pieces are now universal symbols of style. The A18 watch beanie, for example, is perhaps one of the most ubiquitous fashion items of the last decade. It costs less than $20 and has been worn by everyone from skaters to fashion editors. Then you have the chore coat and the Detroit jacket, timeless silhouettes that look just as good today as they did 50 years ago. They are blank canvases that people can adapt to their own personal style, whether that's streetwear, preppy, or minimalist. Carhartt's place at number 10 on our list is a testament to its incredible journey and its enduring appeal. It never chased trends. Instead, the trends came to it. It has remained true to its core values of quality and durability, earning the respect of generation after generation. It proves that sometimes, the most fashionable thing you can be is yourself. In our next chapter, we will move on to the brand at number 9. This is a brand that has completely reshaped the landscape of American luxury. It took the DNA of classic East Coast prep and infused it with a modern, inclusive, and globally minded spirit, building a complete lifestyle empire that feels both timeless and perfectly in sync with the present moment. Join me in Chapter 3 as we reveal our number 9 trending brand. Welcome back to our countdown of the top 10 trending fashion brands in America. In our last chapter, we explored the rugged authenticity of Carhartt at number 10, a brand that earned its fashion stripes through decades of pure utility. Today, for our number 9 spot, we shift from the worksite to the country club, from the factory floor to the penthouse suite. We're talking about a brand that didn't just create clothing, it invented a lifestyle. It packaged the American dream and sold it to the world, and in doing so, became a global empire. At number 9, we have the one and only, Ralph Lauren. To understand the power of Ralph Lauren, you have to understand its origin. The story is legendary. It begins not in a Parisian atelier or a London townhouse, but in the Bronx with a young man named Ralph Lifshitz. He wasn't born into the world of old money and Ivy League prestige that his brand would come to represent. Instead, he imagined it. And his unique genius was the ability to translate that imagination into tangible, wearable pieces. When he started the Polo brand in 1967, he wasn't just selling ties or shirts, he was selling entry into a fantasy. It was a cinematic world of wind-swept beaches in the Hamptons, crisp autumn days at a New England university, and majestic ranches out west. This concept of building a complete, aspirational world around a brand was revolutionary. Before Ralph Lauren, you bought clothes. With Ralph Lauren, you were buying into a narrative. This is why the brand is more than just a fashion label, it's a lifestyle empire. The iconic Polo Pony logo became an instant status symbol. It wasn't just a horse on a shirt, it was a signifier that you understood a certain kind of classic, confident, American elegance. The brand's foundation is built on timeless icons that are just as relevant today as they were decades ago. First and foremost, the polo shirt. It transcended its sportswear origins to become a universal staple, a fundamental piece of the modern wardrobe. Then there's the Oxford cloth button-down shirt, the cabled cashmere sweater, the tailored blazers, all cornerstones of the preppy, Ivy League aesthetic that Ralph Lauren perfected and democratized. And we can't forget the beloved polo bear, which started as a gift to Mr. Lauren and evolved into a cult icon, with the stylish bear appearing on sweaters and accessories that are now highly sought-after collector's items. But the story gets even more interesting. Much like Carhartt, the brand's impeccable image of upper-class aspiration was so powerful that it was adopted and remixed by communities far from its intended audience. In the late 1980s and 90s, a subculture known as the lowlives emerged from the streets of Brooklyn. For them, the bold colors and prominent logos of Ralph Lauren's polo lines weren't just clothing. They were trophies. They were symbols of success and aspiration, recontextualized and worn in a way that created a completely new, street-level aesthetic. This organic adoption gave the brand a layer of cultural credibility that it could never have planned, proving its immense and undeniable impact on American culture. So, why is a brand with over 50 years of history trending so fiercely right now? The answer lies in its brilliant ability to evolve while staying true to its core identity. In an age of disposable fast fashion and fleeting microtrends, Ralph Lauren's commitment to timeless quality feels more valuable than ever. People are investing in pieces that last, and a classic Ralph Lauren item is the definition of a wardrobe investment. More importantly, the brand has made a conscious and successful effort to redefine what the American dream looks like in the 21st century. The world it portrays in its advertising is now intentionally more inclusive and diverse. The fantasy is no longer limited to one type of person or one type of family. A landmark example of this was the brand's groundbreaking partnership with two historically black colleges, Morehouse and Spelman. They collaborated on a collection that celebrated the history and style of black collegiate life from the 1920s to the 1950s, a beautiful and powerful act of using its platform to tell a richer, more complete American story. Furthermore, Ralph Lauren has strategically embraced collaboration to connect with a younger generation. The 2018 partnership with the London-based skate brand Palace was a monumental moment. It seamlessly blended Ivy League prep with skate culture, creating a collection that sold out instantly and showed the world that the Polo Pony could still be at the cutting edge of cool. These smart, authentic collaborations introduce the brand's heritage to a new audience that values authenticity and cultural mashups. Securing the number 9 spot, Ralph Lauren proves that a heritage brand can remain a dominant force by honoring its past while boldly embracing the future. It has managed to be both classic and contemporary, aspirational and, through its subcultural adoption, deeply rooted in the real world. It reminds us that true style isn't about chasing the latest fad, it's about telling a compelling story. In our next chapter, we'll move from the realm of lifestyle fantasy to the world of elite performance. Our number 8 brand started by creating revolutionary products for athletes, but its cultural influence has grown so immense that its logo is now a global symbol of ambition and cool. It has mastered the art of high-fashion collaboration and community building, transforming sportswear into a daily uniform for millions. Join me in Chapter 4 as we reveal the brand at number 8. Hello and welcome back to our definitive countdown. We started our journey at number 10 with the rugged authenticity of Carhartt, and at number 9, we explored the cinematic, aspirational world of Ralph Lauren. Today, we take a leap from the Ivy League campus onto the basketball court, the running track, and into the global consciousness. Our number 8 brand is not just a company, it is a philosophy, a source of inspiration, and an undisputed titan of industry. It began with a simple mission to serve the athlete, but its influence has grown so powerful that its logo has become one of the most recognized symbols on earth. At number 8, we have Nike. The story of Nike is a masterclass in innovation and marketing. Founded in 1964 as Blue Ribbon Sports by University of Oregon track athlete Phil Knight and his coach, Bill Bowerman, the company was born from a genuine obsession with performance. Bowerman famously used his family's waffle iron to create a new kind of rubber sole for running shoes, one that was lighter and had more traction. This spirit of invention is the bedrock of the entire Nike empire. Before it was a fashion icon, Nike was a technology company for the human body. Its credibility was earned on the feet of elite athletes who were winning races and breaking records in their shoes. But the pivotal moment that launched Nike from a respected sports brand into a cultural phenomenon came in 1984. That year, Nike took a massive gamble on a rookie basketball player from North Carolina named Michael Jordan. The resulting partnership and the creation of the Air Jordan sneaker line changed everything. The Air Jordan 1, in its bold black and red colorway, was famously banned by the NBA for not conforming to league uniform rules. Nike responded by paying Jordan's fines and building an entire marketing campaign around the shoe's rebellious spirit. It was an act of pure marketing genius. The Air Jordan wasn't just a piece of footwear anymore. It was a symbol of greatness, rebellion, and unparalleled cool. This partnership effectively gave birth to sneaker culture as we know it today, transforming athletic shoes from simple equipment into highly coveted objects of desire. Beyond a single athlete, Nike perfected the art of storytelling. The launch of the "Just Do It" slogan in 1988 was a watershed moment. It was a simple, powerful, and profoundly universal message. It wasn't just about sports, it was about overcoming personal obstacles, pushing your limits, and striving for your best self. Nike's commercials became cinematic events that told emotional stories of triumph and determination. They stopped selling shoes and started selling inspiration. This is how they built an incredibly deep and lasting emotional connection with billions of people around the world. So, with such a long history of dominance, why is Nike still a top trending brand in 2025? Because it has relentlessly innovated not just its products, but its cultural strategy. Nike has mastered the art of collaboration, using it to constantly refresh its image and stay at the forefront of the conversation. In the early 2000s, the Nike SB Dunk line became a canvas for collaboration with skate shops and artists, creating a cult following. But in the last decade, they have taken this to another level. The partnership with the late, great designer Virgil Abloh and his brand Off-White was perhaps the most influential fashion collaboration of the 21st century. The 10 collection, which saw Abloh deconstruct and reimagine 10 iconic Nike silhouettes, completely tore down the wall between sportswear and high fashion. The shoes became pieces of art, complete with industrial zip ties and quoted text, and they fueled a global frenzy. This was followed by a series of groundbreaking collaborations with brands like the Japanese luxury label Sacai, who created stunning, hybrid-style sneakers, and even the Parisian haute couture house, Dior. These partnerships ensure that Nike isn't just reacting to trends, it is actively creating them. Furthermore, Nike has built a powerful digital ecosystem to engage its most passionate fans. The SNKRS app is more than just a retail platform, it's a community hub. It features behind-the-scenes stories, interactive polls, and a lottery-based release system called The Draw for its most hyped sneakers. This system creates a constant state of anticipation and excitement, transforming the act of buying sneakers into a competitive sport in itself. Today, Nike's influence extends far beyond sneakers. Its tech fleece joggers and hoodies have become a modern uniform for comfort and style. Its DRI Fit technology is the standard for athletic apparel. The brand has defined the global athleisure trend, where performance-oriented clothing is worn in all aspects of daily life. Nike's position at number 8 is a reflection of its unmatched ability to operate on multiple levels at once. It is a leader in athletic innovation, a marketing powerhouse, a curator of high fashion cool, and a master of community building. The swoosh is more than a logo. It's a promise of performance and a badge of cultural fluency. In our next chapter, we will leave America's shores for Europe. Our number 7 brand was not born in the US, but it has become an undeniable and disruptive force within the American fashion landscape. Known for its avant-garde, often challenging aesthetic and its viral, headline-grabbing creations, this luxury powerhouse has become a favorite of celebrities and fashion insiders, making it one of the most talked about and influential names in the world. Join me in Chapter 5 as we reveal the brand at number 7. Welcome back to the series. Our countdown so far has taken us from the workwear of Carhartt, to the aspirational lifestyle of Ralph Lauren, to the athletic dominance of Nike. For our number 7 spot, we are taking a transatlantic flight. This brand was born in the ateliers of Paris, but its current incarnation is so powerful, so disruptive, and so in tune with the digital age that it has completely captivated and confounded the American market. It is a name synonymous with viral moments, avant-garde design, and a complete rewriting of the rules of luxury. At number 7, we have Balenciaga. To truly appreciate the Balenciaga of today, you must first understand its legacy. The house was founded in 1919 by the Spanish couturier Cristobal Balenciaga, a designer so revered for his technical mastery and sculptural silhouettes that Christian Dior himself called him the master of us all. This was a house built on the highest principles of craftsmanship and elegance. Now, fast forward to 2015. The brand appoints a Georgian designer named Demna Gvasalia as its creative director. This was the moment that the historic, respected house of Balenciaga was transformed into the cultural provocateur we know today. Demna's vision for Balenciaga is a radical departure. He is less interested in traditional notions of beauty and elegance and more fascinated by the world around him, the real world. He looks at everyday uniforms, from the clothes of a security guard to the fleece jacket of a tourist, and elevates them into the realm of high fashion. This is his genius. He takes the mundane and makes it luxury, forcing us to question our ideas of value. Remember the international frenzy over a large blue tote bag that bore a striking resemblance to IKEA's 99-cent Fracta bag, but with a $2,000 price tag? That was Balenciaga. It was an act of fashion commentary that was also a brilliant, viral marketing move. Under Demna, Balenciaga almost single-handedly created the modern luxury sneaker phenomenon. In 2017, the brand released the Triple S sneaker. It was big, chunky, and pre-distressed. By all conventional standards, it could have been called ugly, but it was a sensation. It completely upended the sleek, minimalist aesthetic that had dominated footwear and kicked off the dad sneaker trend that would define the rest of the decade. The Triple S became a status symbol, a clear signal that you were in on the joke and ahead of the curve. It was followed by the sleek, sock-like speed trainer, further cementing Balenciaga's dominance in the footwear game. What makes Balenciaga a top trending brand right now is its unparalleled mastery of the viral moment. More than any other luxury house, it understands that in the internet age, attention is the ultimate currency. Their fashion shows are not just presentations of clothing, they are immersive, headline-grabbing spectacles. They've sent models walking through a flooded runway to comment on climate change. They staged a show inside a massive snow globe, with models battling a blizzard. They even collaborated with the creators of The Simpsons to create a custom episode where the citizens of Springfield walk the runway in Paris. These are not just fashion shows, they are performance art pieces designed to be screenshotted, shared, and debated endlessly online. The brand's relationship with celebrity is also unique. When a celebrity like Kim Kardashian or Justin Bieber becomes a face of the brand, they don't just wear the clothes, they embody the entire aesthetic. Think of Kim's now iconic appearance at the Met Gala, where she was covered from head to toe in black fabric, a faceless silhouette. It was one of the most talked about looks of the night, a walking piece of anti-luxury commentary that was instantly recognizable as Balenciaga. The brand's campaigns often mimic paparazzi shots, further blurring the line between reality and performance. Of course, the brand is intentionally polarizing. Its high prices for items that appear ordinary and its often dark, dystopian themes are designed to provoke a reaction. Balenciaga isn't trying to be for everyone. It's for those who appreciate the irony, who see fashion as a form of commentary, and who enjoy being part of the conversation. In a world saturated with content, Balenciaga doesn't just add to the noise. It creates a signal that is impossible to ignore. For its audacity, its influence on the entire fashion landscape, and its brilliant manipulation of digital culture, Balenciaga earns the number 7 spot. It proves that a brand with a deep history can become a leader of the new school by daring to be different, challenging our perceptions, and always keeping us guessing. For our number 6 spot, we return to American soil to celebrate a brand that is as much an activist movement as it is a clothing company. It built its empire on a foundation of environmentalism and radical transparency, proving that a company can do good for the planet while creating products that are both highly functional and incredibly desirable. Join me in Chapter 6 as we explore our number 6 brand. Welcome back. Our journey through the most vital brands in America has taken us from the high-fashion provocation of Balenciaga to the performance-driven world of Nike. Today, for our number 6 spot, we shift our focus from what we wear to why we wear it. We are returning to American soil to celebrate a brand that operates on a different plane. It is less a fashion label and more an activist movement that happens to sell clothing. It has built a global empire not by chasing trends, but by challenging the very system of consumption itself, proving that a company can prioritize the planet and still create incredibly desirable products. At number 6, we have Patagonia. The story of Patagonia begins with its founder, Yvon Chouinard, a pioneering rock climber who was dissatisfied with the climbing equipment available in the 1950s and 60s. So, he taught himself how to be a blacksmith and started making his own. That ethos of creating durable, high-quality, functional gear out of necessity is the seed from which the entire company grew. Patagonia was never about fashion. It was about creating the best possible product to allow people to immerse themselves in the wild, natural places Chouinard and his friends loved. This deep love for the outdoors directly led to the company's core mission, to protect it. Unlike many brands where corporate social responsibility is a recent addition, for Patagonia, environmentalism was the founding principle. What makes Patagonia a truly trending and influential brand today is its radical commitment to its values, often in ways that seem to defy business logic. The most famous example of this came on Black Friday in 2011. While every other retailer was screaming buy more, Patagonia took out a full-page ad in the New York Times featuring a picture of their popular R2 fleece jacket. The headline read, in bold letters, "Don't buy this jacket." The ad went on to detail the environmental cost of producing the jacket and urged consumers to think twice before buying anything new. It was a stunning act of anti-consumerist philosophy from a company that sells consumer goods, and it cemented their reputation as a brand playing by a completely different set of rules. This philosophy is embedded in everything they do. They were a co-founder of the 1% for the Planet initiative, pledging 1% of their total sales to environmental groups. They created the Worn Wear program, which actively encourages customers to repair their old Patagonia gear rather than replace it, and even operates a marketplace for selling their own used products. This is a brand that actively works to reduce the amount of new stuff people buy from them. Their activism isn't just passive. Patagonia has repeatedly taken bold and public political stances, from suing the US government to protect national monuments to shutting down their stores on Election Day to encourage voting. But the ultimate expression of their philosophy came in 2022. Yvon Chouinard and his family gave the entire company away. They transferred all ownership, valued at around $3 billion, to a specially designed trust and a non-profit organization. Every dollar of profit that is not reinvested into the business will now be distributed as a dividend to fight the climate crisis. The Earth is now their only shareholder. So how does a brand that tells you not to buy its products become one of the most desirable brands in the world? First, there's the product itself. Patagonia gear is exceptionally well-made, functional, and features a timeless, minimalist aesthetic. It just works, and it looks good. This has made it a central pillar of the Gorpkorth trend, where functional outdoor apparel is worn as everyday fashion. Second, in an age of deep cynicism, Patagonia's unwavering authenticity is a magnet for consumers, especially younger generations who demand that brands stand for more than just profit. Owning a piece of Patagonia is like wearing your values. It's a quiet signal that you care about quality, durability, and the environment. This has led to the fascinating phenomenon of the Midtown uniform. Walk through the financial districts of New York or the tech campuses of Silicon Valley, and you will see countless professionals wearing a Patagonia Better sweater fleece vest. It has become an unlikely status symbol, a uniform that signals a certain casual, eco-conscious, yet successful sensibility. The brand's most iconic pieces are now cultural staples. The fleece Sinkilla snap tee pullover, with its bright color blocking, is a beloved classic. The baggy shorts are a summer essential for millions. These items have transcended their outdoor origins to become part of the everyday American wardrobe. Patagonia's place at number 6 is a testament to the power of purpose. It has achieved immense success and cultural relevance not in spite of its principles, but directly because of them. It has redefined what a successful corporation can look like in the 21st century, proving that you can build a global powerhouse by putting the planet first. As we crack into our top 5, we're looking at a brand that is the undisputed king of a specific domain, streetwear. For decades, its simple box logo has been a symbol of authentic cool, driving weekly worldwide hysteria and creating a cult-like following that has completely reshaped the rules of supply, demand, and hype. Join me in Chapter 7 as we enter the top 5. Welcome back. We have officially crossed the halfway mark and are now entering the top 5 of our countdown of the top 10 trending fashion brands in America. We began with the rugged workwear of Carhartt and most recently celebrated the purpose-driven activism of Patagonia. Now, to kick off our top 5, we dive headfirst into the world of hype. Our number 5 brand is the undisputed king of streetwear, a cultural phenomenon built on a foundation of calculated scarcity and authentic New York cool. For decades, its simple red box logo has been a global symbol of being in the know, driving weekly hysteria and creating a business model that has been imitated by everyone but perfected by no one. At number 5, we have Supreme. To understand Supreme, you have to go back to its origin in 1994. James Jebbia opened a small store on Lafayette Street in downtown Manhattan. It wasn't conceived as a global fashion brand. It was a skate shop, a clubhouse for the real, raw skate culture of New York City. The design of the store itself was a statement, minimalist, with clothes arranged along the perimeter and a large open space in the middle, so skaters could ride right in with their boards. It was intimidating, it was cool, and it was, above all else, authentic. It was a space made by skaters, for skaters. This foundation of genuine subcultural credibility is the source code for everything that followed. Supreme's business model was, and is, revolutionary. It is built on one core principle: manufactured scarcity. Instead of producing massive quantities of a product, Supreme produces everything in extremely limited runs. Then, it releases these products in a weekly ritual known as the Thursday Drop. Every Thursday morning at 11 a.m., a new collection of items becomes available, both in their physical stores and online. This simple act transforms the process of shopping from a mundane transaction into a high-stakes event. The drops create a frenzy. In the physical world, it means die-hard fans lining up for hours, sometimes even days, to get a chance to buy. Online, it's a digital race where the most coveted items sell out in literal seconds. This scarcity accomplishes 2 things. First, it makes the product feel incredibly exclusive and desirable. Second, it gives birth to a massive and highly lucrative resale market. A Supreme t-shirt that retails for $48 can be worth over $1,000 on sites like StockX just minutes after it sells out. Supreme didn't just sell clothing, it inadvertently created a new kind of stock market for hype. The most powerful weapon in Supreme's arsenal is its logo, a simple red box with the word Supreme written in white Futura heavy oblique font. Famously inspired by the propaganda art of Barbara Kruger, this logo, known to fans as the BOGO, has become one of the most powerful status symbols of the 21st century. To wear the box logo is to signal your inclusion in a cultural elite. It says you either had the dedication to get it at retail or the money to buy it on the resale market. It is a pure, distilled symbol of cultural currency. Supreme also pioneered the art of collaboration. Long before it was a mainstream marketing buzzword, Supreme was partnering with the artists, musicians, and brands that were part of its authentic universe. They worked with underground graffiti artists, iconic photographers, and fellow skate brands like Vans and the North Face. These partnerships felt real because they were. But the brand's most audacious collaboration came in 2017 when it partnered with the historic French luxury house, Louis Vuitton. This was a seismic event in the fashion world. It was the moment the rebellious, anti-establishment energy of streetwear officially crashed the gates of high fashion. The collection was a global phenomenon, and it solidified Supreme's place as not just a skate brand, but a major player in the luxury space. Part of Supreme's enduring cool is its irreverent, often absurd sense of humor. Alongside the hoodies and skate decks, the brand has released products like a Supreme-branded brick, a crowbar, Oreo cookies, and a pinball machine. These items are a commentary on consumer culture and the nature of branding itself. The brand is so powerful it can put its logo on literally anything, and people will want it. It's a joke that everyone, especially the brand itself, is in on. In recent years, following its acquisition by VF Corporation, the parent company of brands like the North Face and Vans, there has been endless debate within the community about whether Supreme has sold out. But its influence is undeniable. The drop model has been copied by everyone from Nike to luxury fashion houses. Its legacy is not just in the clothes it made, but in how it completely reshaped the business of fashion, proving that the power of hype, when rooted in authenticity, is an unstoppable force. For our number 4 spot, we're diving into the controversial, hyper-fast world of a digital behemoth. This brand isn't a traditional fashion house. It's a tech company that sells clothes. It has weaponized social media data and an ultra-fast supply chain to dominate the closets of Gen Z, becoming one of the largest and most debated apparel companies on the planet. Join me in Chapter 8 as we reveal the brand at number 4. Welcome back. In our last chapter, we delved into the world of Supreme, a brand that built an empire on the principles of subcultural authenticity and hype. Now, for our number 4 spot, we pivot to a brand that represents a completely different, and perhaps more formidable, force in modern fashion. This is not a brand built on heritage, storytelling, or physical community. This is a digital behemoth, a tech company that happens to sell clothes. It has weaponized social media data and an unprecedentedly fast supply chain to conquer the closets of Gen Z, becoming one of the largest, fastest-growing, and most intensely debated apparel companies on the planet. At number 4, we have SHEIN. To understand SHEIN is to understand that it is not a traditional fashion company. It is a data company. Founded in China in 2008, SHEIN has completely rewritten the rules of fast fashion. While brands like Zara were once considered the pinnacle of speed for their ability to take a design from runway to retail in a matter of weeks, SHEIN operates in a matter of days. Their business model is a marvel of 21st century technology and logistics. It begins with data. Shein's sophisticated algorithms constantly scrape the internet, analyzing social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, search engine queries, and competitor websites to identify micro-trends the instant they begin to bubble up. Once a potential trend is identified, be it a specific color, a unique sleeve shape, or a style of dress worn by a popular influencer, the system springs into action. This is where Shein's ultra-fast supply chain comes into play. Instead of committing to a large production run of a new style, they employ what is known as an on-demand or real-time retail model. They will produce an extremely small initial batch of a new design, sometimes as few as 50 to 100 units. These thousands of new styles are then uploaded to their app and website. From there, the data takes over again. SHEIN tracks every click, every add to cart, and every purchase in real time. If a particular item starts selling, the algorithm immediately places a larger order with their network of suppliers. If an item doesn't sell, it is instantly discontinued, and the company has lost very little because the initial investment was so small. This model is revolutionary. It almost completely eliminates the risk of producing massive amounts of unsold inventory, which is a major problem for traditional retailers. It also allows them to offer a seemingly endless and constantly refreshing catalog of products, with thousands of new items added every single day. For the consumer, particularly for the Gen Z shopper, the appeal is immense and multifaceted. The most obvious driver is the astonishingly low price point. Shein's prices make even traditional fast fashion competitors look expensive, opening up a world of trend-driven clothing to those with limited disposable income. This has fueled the rise of the SHEIN haul culture on YouTube and TikTok. This powerful form of user-generated content, where creators unbox and try on huge quantities of clothing, serves as a constant, viral marketing engine for the brand. It gamifies shopping and promotes a culture of extreme disposability and constant newness. But beyond the price, SHEIN has perfectly tapped into dupe culture, the desire to have the look of a high-end or viral item without the high-end price tag. If a specific dress from a luxury designer goes viral, a nearly identical version will likely be available on SHEIN within a week. They have, in essence, democratized trends, making the visual language of fashion accessible to almost everyone, almost instantly. However, this meteoric rise has been shadowed by intense controversy, making SHEIN one of the most debated companies in the world. The ultra-fast fashion model comes at a significant cost. Environmental groups have raised serious concerns about the brand's impact, citing the heavy reliance on synthetic, fossil fuel-based fabrics, the carbon footprint of its complex global shipping network, and the fact that its low prices encourage a disposable mindset toward clothing. Furthermore, the company has faced a barrage of criticism and investigative reports concerning its labor practices. Allegations have repeatedly surfaced about extremely long working hours and low pay for the garment workers in its vast network of suppliers. And finally, there are the constant accusations of intellectual property theft. Countless independent designers and artists have come forward with claims that SHEIN has stolen their designs, reproducing them without permission and profiting from their creativity. Shein's position at number 4 reflects its undeniable but deeply complex influence. It is a juggernaut that has captured a massive segment of the American market through a brilliant and ruthless use of technology. Its impact on the shopping habits and trend cycles of a generation is undeniable. Yet, its success forces us to confront some of the most urgent questions in fashion today. What is the true cost of a $5 t-shirt? And what are we willing to sacrifice for speed, variety, and accessibility? As we enter our top 3, we encounter a brand that defines modern luxury for the digital generation. It masterfully blends classic craftsmanship with a deep understanding of meme culture and celebrity influence. Its accessories are instantly recognizable, and its creative director has become a celebrity in his own right, making this French maison one of the most desirable and culturally relevant names in the world. Join me in Chapter 9, as we reveal the brand at number 3. Welcome back. The countdown has reached its apex. We are now in the top 3. In our last chapter, we grappled with the complex, data-driven dominance of SHEIN, a company that represents one possible future for fashion. For our number 3 spot, we turn to a brand that represents another, more beautiful future. One driven by personal storytelling, authentic connection, and pure, unadulterated joy. We're traveling to France to celebrate a brand that defines what modern luxury looks and feels like for the digital generation. It masterfully blends classic craftsmanship with a native understanding of meme culture and celebrity influence. Its accessories have become internet icons, and its founder has become a celebrity in his own right. At number 3, we have Jacquemus. The story of Jacquemus is inseparable from the story of its founder, Simon Porte Jacquemus. And in a world of corporate luxury giants, this is its superpower. Simon grew up in a small town in the sun-drenched south of France. At just 19 years old, after the sudden and tragic death of his mother, he launched his own label, naming it after her maiden name. This origin story is not a marketing brief, it is the heart and soul of the brand. Every collection, every show, every Instagram post feels deeply personal, infused with a sense of nostalgia, love, and a playful, childlike wonder. This profound authenticity creates a powerful emotional connection with his audience that money can't buy. The Jacquemus aesthetic is a dream of the French countryside come to life. It is sensual, romantic, and effortlessly sexy. It's the feeling of a warm summer day, the smell of lavender, the taste of fresh fruit. Simon has a genius for creating not just clothing, but entire worlds. His runway shows have become legendary, not for being in a grand Parisian hall, but for being in the middle of nature. He famously staged a show for his 10th anniversary on a vibrant pink runway that snaked through a lavender field in Provence. He's had models walk through a field of wheat and along a windswept beach in Hawaii. These are not just fashion shows. They are immersive experiences designed to be breathtakingly beautiful and eminently shareable. They are moments of pure Instagram gold. While the clothes are beautiful, it was the accessories that truly broke the internet and catapulted Jacquemus into a global phenomenon. In 2017, he introduced a handbag called Le Chiquito. It was comically, absurdly tiny. It could barely hold a tube of lipstick. The internet went wild. It became an instant meme, a topic of endless conversation, and the must-have accessory of the year. The Chiquito was a masterstroke. It proved that in the digital age, the value of an accessory is not just in its utility, but in its visual power, its ability to make an impact on a screen. He followed this up with equally audacious designs, like the Le Grand Bamarino, a gigantic floppy straw hat that was just as impractical and just as iconic. This brings us to why Jacquemus is the definitive brand for the digital generation. Simon Porte Jacquemus doesn't just use social media, he speaks its native language. His personal and brand Instagram accounts are not sterile corporate marketing tools. They are intimate, artfully curated mood boards that blend product shots with behind-the-scenes glimpses, photos of his family, and artistic inspiration. He creates a direct, unfiltered line of communication with his followers, making them feel like they are part of his beautiful world, not just customers. He has also cultivated a community of celebrity followers who feel more like genuine friends than paid ambassadors. This Jacquemus family includes some of the biggest stars in the world, like Dua Lipa, Jennie from Blackpink, and Bad Bunny, who famously starred in one of his campaigns. When they wear Jacquemus, it feels organic and authentic, a true reflection of their personal style, which is the most powerful kind of endorsement. Finally, Jacquemus has smartly positioned itself as a form of accessible luxury. While it is undoubtedly a high-end designer brand, its price point, particularly for its viral accessories, is strategically placed below that of heritage titans like Chanel or Hermes. This allows a younger, aspirational audience to buy into the dream, making the brand feel both exclusive and attainable. Jacquemus is our number 3 because it is the blueprint for the modern luxury brand. It combines a powerful personal narrative, an irresistible aesthetic, a genius for viral marketing, and a deep, authentic connection to its community. Simon Porte Jacquemus isn't just selling clothes and handbags, he's selling a feeling, a sun-drenched fantasy that everyone wants to be a part of. We are now down to our final 2. The brand at number 2 is not just a fashion label, it is a cultural universe. It's a heritage Italian house that was radically reborn in the 21st century with a maximalist, eccentric, and gender-fluid vision that completely changed the direction of modern fashion. Its logo is one of the most recognizable in the world, and for the last decade, it has been the name on everyone's lips. Join me in our next chapter as we reveal the brand at number 2. Welcome back. The moment is almost here. We have journeyed through the landscape of American fashion, from activist brands to streetwear kings, and now we stand at the threshold of the top 2. In our last chapter, we celebrated the sun-drenched, personal vision of Jacquemus, a brand that represents the future of modern luxury. Now, for our number 2 spot, we honor a brand that defined the very recent past and present. This is not just a fashion label, it is a cultural universe. It is a heritage Italian house that was radically and brilliantly reborn, unleashing a maximalist, eccentric, and gender-fluid vision that completely altered the course of contemporary fashion. Its logo is an undisputed global icon, and for the better part of the last decade, it has been the name on everyone's lips. The number 2 trending brand in America is Gucci. For decades, Gucci has been a titan of luxury. It's a brand with a rich Florentine history, known for its leather goods and the iconic interlocking G's. Many will remember its hyper-sexy, glamorous era under Tom Ford in the 1990s. But by the early 2010s, the brand, while still successful, had lost its cultural spark. It was respected, but it was no longer leading the conversation. That all changed in January of 2015, in what is now considered one of the most pivotal moments in modern fashion history. The company appointed a little-known, long-time internal accessories designer named Alessandro Michele as its creative director. What he did next was nothing short of a revolution. In his very first collection, Michele completely detonated the existing Gucci aesthetic. He replaced the sleek sexiness with a quirky, intellectual, and romantic vision. His Gucci was a treasure trove of beautiful oddities. It was maximalist to its core, clashing prints, intricate floral and animal embroidery, vintage-inspired silhouettes, and an abundance of ruffles and pussy bows. He championed a more is more philosophy that felt like a joyous rebellion against the clean, minimalist aesthetic that had been popular for years. This new look was often described as geek chic, and it was a breathtaking risk that paid off spectacularly. Crucially, Alessandro Michele's Gucci was at the forefront of the movement towards gender fluidity in fashion. He sent male models down the runway in lace blouses, floral suits, and pussy bows, challenging traditional notions of masculinity. This wasn't a gimmick, it was a core part of his vision of a more inclusive and expressive world. This approach resonated powerfully with a younger generation of consumers who were already questioning and dismantling old-fashioned gender norms. Under Michele, Gucci became a complete cultural universe. He understood the power of branding and iconography better than anyone. He took the brand's archives, the double G logo, the green and red stripe, the horsebit hardware, and remixed them, splashing them across everything from bags and belts to tracksuits and sneakers. The Gucci logo belt became the definitive status symbol of the late 2010s, a must-have item for everyone from high school students to global superstars. The brand's name became a constant fixture in pop culture, relentlessly name-dropped in hip-hop lyrics as the ultimate signifier of wealth and style. The brand's connection to culture was deepened by its choice of ambassadors. Figures like Harry Styles and Jared Leto, with their flamboyant and eccentric personal styles, became perfect avatars for the new Gucci. They weren't just wearing the clothes, they were living the philosophy. This created an authentic and powerful feedback loop between the brand and the cultural zeitgeist. To maintain its momentum, Gucci also became a master of the unexpected collaboration. The Hacker Project with Balenciaga was an unprecedented event where two luxury giants didn't just collaborate, but playfully stole each other's signature codes. Blockbuster partnerships with brands like the North Face and Adidas brought Gucci's aesthetic into new territories, creating massive hype and keeping the brand at the absolute center of the fashion conversation. The iconic pieces from this era, the Princetown fur-lined loafers, the Dionysus and Marmont handbags, the decorated bomber jackets, are now cemented as icons of 21st century design. While Alessandro Michele has since departed the brand, Gucci's place at number 2 is a testament to the sheer, earth-shattering impact of his tenure. For nearly a decade, no other luxury brand was more influential, more talked about, or more desirable. It didn't just follow the trends, it set the entire agenda for the industry. We have arrived at the final chapter of our countdown. The number 1 spot. The brand that, more than any other, defines this moment in American fashion. It is not a heritage European house, nor is it a fast fashion giant. It is a cultural force that grew from the streets of New York, built on a foundation of community, collaboration, and a new vision of what it means to be an American luxury brand. Its founder is one of the most celebrated and visionary designers of his generation, and his brand is a testament to the power of a unique, authentic voice. Next time, we reveal our number 1 trending fashion brand in America. Hello and welcome back for the final, most anticipated chapter of our countdown. Over the last 10 chapters, we have journeyed across the entire spectrum of American style. We've celebrated the rugged workwear of Carhartt, the activist spirit of Patagonia, the streetwear dominance of Supreme, and the revolutionary luxury of Gucci. We have seen how brands trend through authenticity, community, innovation, and sheer cultural force. And now, we have arrived at the number 1 spot. The brand that, more than any other, synthesizes all of these winning elements. The brand that defines this very moment in American fashion. It is not a century-old European house or a global sportswear giant. It is a cultural force born from the streets of New York, built on a foundation of community, collaboration, and a completely new vision of American luxury. The #1 trending fashion brand in America is M. Leon Dore. Founded in 2014 by Teddy Santis, M. Leon Dore, or ALD, is a love letter to his upbringing in Queens, New York. The brand's entire DNA is a reflection of the vibrant, multicultural world of his youth in the 1990s, a seamless blend of hip-hop and basketball culture, the style of the local neighborhood legends, and an aspirational pull towards classic, preppy American sportswear. This is not a brand created by a marketing team reverse engineering a trend. It is the authentic, lived-in story of its founder, and that is the source of its incredible power. M. Leon Dore has come to define what many are calling the new American luxury. So, what does that look like? It is an aesthetic built on the masterful mixing of high and low. It's the elevation of streetwear staples like the hoodie, the sweatpant, and the baseball cap through meticulous attention to fabric, quality, and fit. But it's also the relaxed, confident styling of classic menswear pieces like peacoats, cable knit sweaters, and loafers. ALD exists in the space between the runway and the street, and it has taught a generation of men how to dress with a sense of refined, effortless cool. The brand uses nostalgia as its superpower, tapping into the aesthetics of the 80s and 90s in a way that feels timeless and sophisticated, not like a costume. Perhaps more than any other brand on this list, M. Leon Dore is built on the idea of community. Its flagship store on Mulberry Street in Soho is not just a place to buy clothes, it is the physical embodiment of the brand's world. With its warm, inviting design, vintage furniture, carefully curated music, and the attached Café Leon Dore, it functions as a neighborhood clubhouse. It's a space where people come to hang out, to see and be seen, and to immerse themselves in the ALD culture. The brand's lookbooks reinforce this feeling. Instead of traditional models, they often feature friends of the brand, downtown creatives, and older, stylish men from the neighborhood, lending an unparalleled sense of real-world authenticity. And then, there are the collaborations. M. Leon Dore has become the undisputed king of the modern collaboration, using partnerships to tell stories and build its world. The most significant of these has been its ongoing partnership with New Balance. Before ALD, New Balance was respected for its quality but wasn't necessarily at the forefront of fashion. ALD's take on archival models, most notably the 550 basketball shoe, was a cultural explosion. They didn't just create a best-selling sneaker, they almost single-handedly revived the entire silhouette and sparked a global trend that is still burning bright. This partnership was so successful, so perfectly synergistic, that New Balance made the unprecedented move of appointing Teddy Santis as the creative director of its prestigious Made in USA line, the ultimate testament to his vision. So why is M. Leon Dore our #1? It's because it perfectly captures the zeitgeist. It has the deeply personal and authentic story of a Jacquemus. It has the cult-like community of a Supreme. It has a reverence for American classics that rivals Ralph Lauren. It creates exceptional, high-quality products like a Patagonia. And through its collaborations, it generates the global hype of a Nike. M. Leon Dore is the blueprint for a 21st-century American luxury brand. It is a testament to the power of a unique, unwavering voice that has grown from a neighborhood in Queens to influence how the entire world dresses. It is sophisticated without being stuffy, cool without being exclusive, and timeless while feeling completely of the moment. For all these reasons, M. Leon Dore is the #1 trending fashion brand in America. Thank you for joining me on this countdown of the top 10. Our journey, however, is not over. In the remaining chapters of our series, we will step back to explore the broader forces shaping American fashion, from the honorable mentions and up-and-coming brands you need to watch, to the future of sustainability and technology and style. I hope you'll continue to listen as we explore what's next. Hello and welcome back. In our last chapter, we reached the summit, crowning M. Leon Dore as the #1 trending fashion brand in America and completing our definitive top 10 countdown. That list represents the titans, the brands at the absolute peak of their cultural power. But the American fashion landscape is incredibly rich and diverse, and the conversation doesn't end at #1. There are countless other brands shaping the way we dress, influencing the trends, and building passionate communities. So for this chapter, we're going to explore the honorable mentions, the brands that were right on the cusp of our top 10, the established players who are setting new standards, and the rising stars you absolutely need to have on your radar. Let's begin with a category we can call the new American luxury, brands that are redefining what it means to be a high-end designer in the United States. And you cannot have this conversation without mentioning Fear of God. Founded by Jerry Lorenzo in Los Angeles, Fear of God has masterfully blended elements of streetwear, grunge, and sophisticated tailoring to create a unique and powerful aesthetic. Lorenzo's vision is one of quiet confidence and effortless cool, with a focus on beautiful fabrics, neutral palettes, and unique silhouettes. The brand operates on 2 levels. The main collection offers exquisite, runway-level luxury, while its accessible sister line, Essentials, has become a global phenomenon, allowing millions to buy into the brand's universe. fear of God is a testament to the power of a singular, uncompromising vision. Another vital force in this space is Telfar. Based in Queens and founded by Telfar Clements, this brand has become a symbol of inclusivity and community. Its motto, "Not for you, for everyone," is a radical statement in the exclusive world of fashion. The brand's iconic shopping bag, nicknamed the Bushwick Birkin, has transcended its status as a simple accessory to become a true cultural object. It's a status symbol for a new generation, one that values community and accessibility over traditional luxury. Telfar's success is proof that a brand can be both wildly popular and culturally disruptive. Next, let's look at the quiet trendsetters, brands that may not have the same massive name recognition as a Nike or a Gucci, but whose influence among insiders and designers is immense. Here we have to talk about Stussy. As one of the original American streetwear brands, Stussy has been cool for decades, but it's currently experiencing a massive resurgence. While other brands have grown louder, Stussy has leaned into its heritage with a sense of understated confidence. Its collaborations are consistently some of the best in the industry, and its classic, surf and skate-inspired clothing is a uniform for those who are truly in the know. In many ways, Stussy is the brand that your favorite designer's favorite designer wears. We also have to acknowledge Kith. What started as a sneaker boutique in New York founded by Ronnie Fieg has exploded into a global retail empire and a formidable brand in its own right. Kith is a master curator and a master collaborator, partnering with everyone from BMW and Coca-Cola to Versace. Fieg has a unique ability to tap into nostalgia and create products that feel both classic and completely new. Kith is more than a store, it's a tastemaker that dictates what's cool. Then, there are the category kings, brands that so thoroughly dominate a specific niche that they become synonymous with it. The most powerful example today is Lululemon. The brand that started by making high-quality yoga pants has completely conquered the world of athleisure. It has built a fanatically loyal community around its technically advanced fabrics and flattering designs. Lululemon is no longer just for the gym. Its leggings, joggers, and jackets have become a daily uniform for millions, seamlessly blending performance, comfort, and style. They have created a lifestyle that is incredibly aspirational and wildly profitable. Finally, we must look to the future with the rising stars. And no conversation about the future of American fashion is complete without mentioning Bode. Founded by Emily Adams Bode Aujla, this brand is doing something truly unique. Bode creates new, beautiful menswear pieces out of antique and historical textiles. Each piece, a jacket made from a 1940s quilt, a shirt made from vintage grain sacks, tells a story. It is a radical act of sustainability and creativity that has earned the brand critical acclaim and a devoted following. Bode represents a return to craftsmanship, storytelling, and thoughtful consumption, offering a powerful antidote to the world of fast fashion. These brands, and so many others, create the vibrant ecosystem of American style. They prove that there is no single definition of what it means to be a trending brand. You can get there through luxury, through community, through sustainability, or through sheer force of will. The brands we've discussed, both in our top 10 and here today, have one thing in common. Their success is inextricably linked to the power of the internet. In our next chapter, we will take a deep dive into the single most powerful force shaping fashion today, social media. From the rise of the TikTok aesthetic to the power of the influencer, we'll explore how these platforms are dictating what we wear and how brands are adapting to survive in the digital spotlight. Join me for Chapter 13. Welcome back. Over the last 12 chapters, we have counted down the top 10 brands, celebrated the honorable mentions, and explored the companies defining American fashion. But underlying all of their stories is a single, powerful force that has acted as a kingmaker, a trend accelerator, and a cultural connector. That force is social media. In this chapter, we are taking a deep dive into how platforms like Instagram and TikTok have completely rewritten the rules of fashion, shifting power away from traditional gatekeepers and putting it into the hands of the people. Not so long ago, the world of fashion operated on a strict, top-down hierarchy. Trends were dictated by a select few. A handful of influential editors at magazines like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, the buyers from major department stores like Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue, and the designers showing their collections in Paris, Milan, and New York. They were the ones who decided what was in. Their decisions would then trickle down to the masses. Social media has not just challenged this system, it has completely shattered it. The first wave of this revolution was Instagram. It transformed fashion from a static, monthly print experience into a dynamic, minute-by-minute visual conversation. For brands, Instagram became the ultimate visual portfolio. A well-curated feed allowed a brand like Jacquemus to build a complete, immersive world around its products. But more importantly, Instagram gave rise to the fashion influencer. Suddenly, individuals with a unique sense of style and a camera could amass audiences that rivaled those of legacy fashion magazines. They became the new style icons, and their outfit of the day posts became the new editorials. The platform turned personal style into a performance and a profession, and the phrase, "link in bio," became a powerful driver of direct sales. But if Instagram started the revolution, TikTok launched it into hyperdrive. TikTok's impact on the trend cycle cannot be overstated. Unlike the curated perfection of Instagram, TikTok's power lies in its authenticity, its algorithm, and its incredible speed. The platform's For You page is the most powerful trend-making machine ever created. It can take a single product, like Aerie's crossover leggings or a simple Uniqlo shoulder bag, and turn it into a sold-out, nationwide phenomenon overnight, often with zero marketing spent from the brand itself. This has given rise to the era of the micro-trend and the aesthetic core. On TikTok, trends bubble up with dizzying speed. One month it's cottagecore, romanticizing a rural, pastoral life. The next, it's quiet luxury, a minimalist aesthetic focused on unbranded, high-quality basics. These aesthetics, or cores, allow users to experiment with different identities, and the algorithm connects them with others in the same style tribe. For brands, this is both a huge opportunity and a massive challenge. You can go viral in an instant, but you can also be irrelevant in a week. Formats like the Get Ready With Me video, or GRWM, and the shopping haul have become the new fashion media for Gen Z. Here, creators are not just showing an outfit, they are telling a story, reviewing products in real time, and building a trusted relationship with their audience. This is where the power of the influencer has evolved. While mega celebrities still hold sway, many brands are now finding more value in collaborating with micro and nano influencers. These are creators with smaller, more niche followings who often have a much deeper level of engagement and trust with their audience. Their endorsement feels less like an advertisement and more like a genuine recommendation from a friend. In this new digital landscape, brands that want to succeed must learn to be conversational, transparent, and authentic. The brands that are winning are the ones that participate in the culture of the platforms. They respond to comments, they duet user videos, and they create content that feels native to the app, not like a repurposed television commercial. They understand that social media is a two-way street. On the other hand, brands that are too corporate, that disable comments, or that post content that feels inauthentic are quickly called out and ignored. The modern consumer is incredibly media savvy and has a built-in radar for anything that feels forced. Social media has fundamentally and permanently altered our relationship with fashion. It has democratized style, accelerated trends to a breathtaking pace, and forced an entire industry to become more accountable and more creative. It is the stage on which all modern fashion dramas are played out. This shift towards transparency and accountability isn't just happening online. Consumers are demanding more from brands in the real world, too. One of the most significant movements in modern culture is the demand for a more responsible fashion industry. In our next chapter, we will explore the complex and crucial topic of sustainability. From innovative new materials to the rise of the second-hand market, we'll ask the question, can fashion ever be truly sustainable? Join me for Chapter 14. Hello and welcome back. Throughout this series, we've explored the brands and trends that define American fashion. But running beneath the surface of every conversation about style today is a deeper, more urgent question. We've seen it in the purpose-driven mission of a brand like Patagonia, and in the controversy surrounding a giant like Shein. That question is about impact. In this chapter, we are going to tackle the most complex and important topic in the modern industry, sustainability. We'll look at the challenges, the innovations, and the fundamental shifts in thinking that are underway as we ask the ultimate question. Can fashion, an industry built on the very idea of newness, ever be truly sustainable? For decades, the fashion industry has operated on a linear model: take, make, waste. We take resources from the planet, make them into clothes, and after a short period of use, we throw them away. The true cost of this model is staggering. The environmental impact is immense, from the billions of gallons of water used to grow conventional cotton, to the toxic chemical dyes that pollute waterways, to the microplastics that shed from our synthetic clothing and end up in the oceans. The human cost is equally significant, with a global supply chain that has often been criticized for poor labor practices and unsafe working conditions. And finally, there is the problem of waste. We are producing and consuming more clothing than ever before, and the vast majority of it ends up in landfills after just a handful of wears. The scale of the problem is daunting, but the momentum for change is real and it is growing. The future of sustainable fashion is being fought on multiple fronts, starting with the very materials our clothes are made from. We're seeing incredible innovation in this space. This includes improving traditional materials, like the widespread adoption of organic cotton, which uses significantly less water and no toxic pesticides, and recycled polyester, which gives plastic bottles a second life. But the truly exciting developments are in next-generation materials. Scientists and designers are creating amazing alternatives, like durable, convincing leathers grown from mushrooms and mycelium, fabrics made from pineapple leaves and orange peels, and even dyes created from bacteria and algae. These innovations offer a future where our clothes can be made with a much lighter touch on the planet. Beyond materials, the biggest shift is in the business of fashion itself. The linear model is slowly being replaced by a circular one. The most powerful driver of this is the explosion of the second-hand market. Fueled by online platforms like The RealReal for luxury consignment, Depop for unique vintage finds, and ThreadUp for everyday basics, resale is booming. For younger consumers especially, buying secondhand is no longer a niche activity, it's a primary way of shopping. It is more affordable, it is better for the environment, and it allows for a unique sense of personal style that you can't get from a mass-market retailer. This is a fundamental rejection of disposable, fast fashion culture. Alongside resale, rental services like Rent the Runway offer a closet in the cloud, reducing the need to own expensive occasion wear that might only be worn once. Brands are also beginning to take more responsibility. We are in the age of transparency, where consumers are demanding to know who made my clothes and what a brand's true environmental footprint is. Leading companies are responding with detailed impact reports, traceable supply chains, and certifications like Fair Trade or B Corporation. We're also seeing the growth of brand-led circular programs, like Patagonia's legendary Worn Wear program, which helps customers repair their gear, and Take Back initiatives where brands will reclaim old clothes to be recycled into new ones. However, with this rising consumer demand for sustainable options comes the challenge of greenwashing. This is the practice where a company may use vague, misleading marketing to make you believe their products are more environmentally friendly than they really are. It might be a fast fashion brand that releases a single, conscious collection, made from a small percentage of recycled materials, while the other 99% of their business continues as usual. As consumers, it is becoming more important than ever to look past the buzzwords and seek out genuine transparency. Ultimately, true sustainability in fashion requires more than just new materials and business models. It requires a profound shift in our own mindset. It means moving away from a culture of disposability and towards one of longevity. It's about buying less but choosing better. It's about falling in love with the clothes we already own, learning to repair them, and seeing them as companions on our journey, not as disposable trends. The future of fashion isn't just about what's new, it's about what lasts. We've looked at the brands, the trends, the influence of social media, and the challenge of sustainability. In our final chapter, we will look to the horizon. We'll synthesize everything we've discussed to explore the future of American fashion. What will we be wearing in 10 years? How will technology like AI and the metaverse change the way we shop and express ourselves? And what will it mean to be a successful brand in the decades to come? Join me one last time for our grand finale, as we look at what's next. Hello, and welcome back for the 15th and final chapter of our series. We began this journey with a simple goal, to count down the top 10 trending fashion brands in America. We traveled from the rugged workwear of Carhartt at number 10 to the new American luxury of M. Leon Dore at number 1. We've celebrated icons, explored subcultures, and met the brands that are defining this moment in style. We then stepped back to look at the powerful forces shaping the industry, the rise of social media and the urgent call for sustainability. Now, in our grand finale, we will take all that we've learned and look to the horizon. It's time to explore the future of American fashion. So, what will we be wearing, how will we be shopping, and what will it mean to be a successful brand in the decades to come? First, let's talk about the future of aesthetics. The most significant trend will be the continued blurring of lines. The rigid categories that once defined fashion are dissolving. The distinction between menswear and womenswear will feel increasingly irrelevant as gender-fluid design becomes the norm, not the exception. The wall between luxury and streetwear, which brands like Supreme and Off-White helped tear down, will crumble completely, resulting in a truly hybrid style. We'll see a continued emphasis on functionality, comfort, and durability. The Gorp core lessons taught by Patagonia and the North Face will become universal principles. Our clothes will be expected to not only look good, but to perform beautifully in all aspects of our lives. The biggest shift, however, will be a move away from mass trends and toward hyper-personalization. The future of style is not about everyone wearing the same thing. It's about everyone wearing something that is uniquely their own. This personalization will be powered by a revolution in technology. Technology is poised to change fashion more in the next 10 years than it has in the last 50. Artificial intelligence, or AI, will be at the center of this. AI will act as our personal stylist, learning our tastes and analyzing our body shape to recommend perfect items or even help us design our own custom pieces from scratch. For brands, AI will optimize supply chains, predicting demand with incredible accuracy to create only what is needed, drastically reducing the waste we discussed in our sustainability chapter. Then there is the metaverse. The line between our physical and digital lives will continue to fade, and our digital avatars will become a primary form of self-expression. Digital fashion, clothing that exists only in the virtual world, from NFT sneakers to skins in our favorite games, will become a massive industry. Brands like Nike and Balenciaga are already pioneers in this space, and soon, dressing our digital selves will be as important as dressing our physical ones. Technology will also transform our physical shopping experience. Augmented reality will allow us to virtually try on any garment from the comfort of our homes with perfect accuracy, finally solving the biggest challenge of online shopping. So, in this hyper-personalized, technologically advanced, and digitally integrated future, what will it mean to be a successful brand? The lessons are all in the brands we've celebrated in this series. First, the future belongs to community. Just as M. Leon Dore built a clubhouse in Soho, the successful brands of the future will be those that foster a true sense of belonging. They won't just sell products, they will create cultural universes that people want to be a part of, both online and off. Second, radical transparency will become the standard. The era of greenwashing is coming to an end. Technology like the blockchain will allow for complete visibility into a product's journey, from the raw material to the factory floor. The brands that are not genuinely sustainable and ethical will have nowhere to hide, and the ones that embrace this transparency, like Patagonia, will win the trust and loyalty of the modern consumer. Finally, in a world of infinite choice and AI-generated content, the most valuable commodity will be an authentic human story. The brands that will endure are the ones with a real point of view, a powerful narrative, and a clear purpose. The future of fashion belongs to the storytellers. Our journey through the world of American fashion has shown us that style is never just about clothes. It's about identity, community, culture, and change. The future will be more personal, more conscious, and more connected than ever before. It will be a world where we have more tools to express exactly who we are. And that is a future to be excited about. My name is Ayman Mahmood, and this has been the top 10 trending fashion brands in America. Thank you for listening.